Hello, my dear Leos. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of July 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And Leos, you are on top of the list for this month of July. You really hit the thumbs up button, and many of you also watched my reading. So I'm very, very grateful to you for this, and very happy for you to finally come to the first place instead of Cancer that has been there, I think, for 6 times. Okay, so the reading can go both ways. So if I tell you that you are feeling and acting in a certain way, it can be in the reversed, that the person you are dealing with is feeling and acting in that way. The energies is the same, it's just different castings to the different roles by the universe. For this reading, I will use the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargom, illustrated by Will Worthington, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, I see 2 of Wands and 10 of Wands. So that is holding an immense amount of energy, Leo. The 2 of Wands is like having self-control, and the 10 of Wands, it's like suppression. So it seems like the self-control is leading to suppression of what it is that you really want to do, say, or feel, maybe. 10 of Wands can be like, it's like you're carrying around an awful lot of sticks here. If you carry only 1 stick, it's not that heavy. 2 sticks, okay, it's you can use them as walking sticks. But 10 sticks, that's an awful lot of sticks to to keep track of. Okay, and imagine that every one of these sticks is like a quest that you are on, or like things on your to-do list, or things that you have on your mind. So if you have 1, it can be okay, like 1 goal. 2, okay, you have 2 goals. But 10, it might be a little bit too much. Maybe you are doing too much, working too much. It might also be that you need to put down some of your sticks, like what happened in the past. What will happen tomorrow? You can't really control what will happen tomorrow. So just accept the now and whatever the divine will bring. So you don't need to worry so much about things or carry on this heavy load. We can see also on this other card underneath that the person is very burdened by worry. Okay. So it's your strength that you're using, but it seems like you're using it maybe to exhaust yourself or to keep yourself from doing something that you really want to do. It can be like this too, or that you would be natural for you to do. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the King of Wands with the 10 of Wands. So it's kind of the same story. It just shows that it's Leo. It might be that you have mastered yourself. It's like you are a master of self-control, and you push yourself to your limits. So it might be that you have like just regained some strength that you didn't have before, and now you are kind of trying it out. How strong can you be? How tough can you be? Really, really tough, as it seems on these pictures. Okay. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we see 9 of Cups and the 10 of Wands. If we work this much or hold so much inside of us, well, we might sit on an empty table and not have so many people to invite over because we are not sharing with them that we want them to come over, or we are working too much, so we don't have time with our friends. But the 9 of Cups is a really good card. It's a wish card. So this is how you wish it would be. So I'm thinking you're working very hard to fulfill your wishes. Just be careful so you don't fulfill your wishes and forget about everything else, so that other things in your life will not be to your satisfaction when you are done. Okay, so but the 9 of Cups, it kind of says that you have the relationship and the things that you need. You might just need to dream a little bit more of what it is that you really want. But all this dreaming might, of course, put more burden on you, even more things that you want to do, even more things on your to-do list. So try to figure out what would really make you happy. I'm not thinking that running around like crazy and working your little behind off is going to make you happy. But if it's for a short period of time, that's fine, but don't make it into a habit to always work very hard, okay? You need to have time to enjoy your life as well. Inviting people to a party, okay? Okay, so there comes the song. If I remember it, see, we are 5 minutes 30 seconds. It's I went to a garden party. I don't remember more than that right now because my brain is strange when I'm doing this reading, but I will put it in the description box for you. Garden party, okay. So I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today. It was the 9 of Cups that wants to show its face again, and this is the Prince of Cups and the 7 of Swords. So I'm thinking you are longing for something or someone, but you won't believe your own heart. So therefore you are putting blocks on it and trying to be stoic and maybe not trying to dream so much. Maybe you want to stand with both of your feet on the ground and so you won't be disappointed. It seems like you have lost your confidence maybe in love here. Okay. So 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading. 10 of Wands, and here we have a King of Swords as well. So some of you might be dealing with an air sign person. We have had the King of Wands, that's of course you, and the King of Swords might be someone that you're dealing with. It might be that you're working with the aspects of authority and taking leadership as well, and that might mean that you need to forsake certain things. You can't be all the things you could be if you were not in a leadership position. Maybe you need to show you need to show other people the way, so you need to be a good example for others. So maybe that's why you're working hard. This can be you being very sharp with your mind, seeing things ahead, having a plan, a schedule, maybe being a little bit anal about things, over organized, okay? But with the King of Swords, it's like you have a plan, it seems, okay? Well grounded, and it's the 2 masculine king, King of Swords and King of Wands, fire and air. So it seems like you're very masculine in your approach right now, and it might be because you want to reach your dreams. Okay, so it's ready. Great. So I'll just tune in for a few seconds here. So, my dear Leos, I will do a short spread with only 9 cards because I'm trying to, I'm a Leo, I'm trying to decrease my work burden, or like the things I need to do, and maybe get some few days off now when it's summer and all. We'll see. Maybe I make it into a habit if you like it, okay? So, this will be your future there. And this is your now there, and this is the past. So in the past we have the Star card. We saw the King of Swords earlier, that's Aquarius, and this is also Aquarius. So it seems like you are very connected with the divine, and that you want to do the best you can in this situation. You want to be in the service of the good. So you have only good in mind, and it's like you're following a divine plan. And this is hope as well. It includes hope. So, Leo, you need to have a little bit more hope, okay? So that was the past, and this is in the now. And here we have a 4 of Wands. So 4 of Wands is a really good card. It's about self-love, but it can also be about marriage, buying a house, getting some kind of new foundation for yourself. But it seems like you have maybe worked very hard and kept yourself strong to build a real good foundation to you in your life. And when you love yourself, others will love you too, because it's how the universe works. It's the law of attraction. When you respect yourself, others will respect you. When you give yourself justice, other people will give you justice too. So it seems like this might be on the agenda for you. That might be why we saw the Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Like you're working on self-control, taking better care of yourself, more self-respect, boundaries, also striving towards your life goals with the Ten of Wands, striving very hard, but just be careful so you don't overdo it with all these wands. Four of Wands can be engagement, marrying. It can be celebrating something wonderful that have happened. It feels like you have laid the foundation, the very strong foundation to your new future. The Nine of Cups card, your new future that you can envision. Okay, and here we have your future. And in the future, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is another good card. It's very much connected to the Star card here. 17, 1 plus 7 is 8. It's connected to the Strength card. But both of these cards talking about being in service of the divine. Here is you working on something in the will of the divine. So the things that you want for yourself, the divine wants it for you too. The things you love about life, the things that makes you feel longing or passion, it's the things that the divine, the universe is longing for and is passionate about. So it seems like you're very much in tune with divine energy right now, Leo. Beautiful. This is like putting in work and effort to do the best you can in a certain situation. So really the willingness to wants to work on it. But it can also be like a person being a little bit of a workhorse, you know, alone in their Smith here doing stars. Okay. So, but maybe this is what you need. Okay. We'll see here. First card for you in the past is the Five of Swords. So this might be what has made you this strong and what made you maybe lose a little bit of hope. Five of Swords is some argument of some sort. People clashing together, having different opinions, maybe saying harsh words to each other or trying to hurt each other or trying to win over another. So it seems like you have had this energy in your life. It might be way past or recent past, but this is probably what's triggering your strength, the challenges. This is what trigger us to grow. So we should be grateful for this when it comes into our life, because we are going to gain so much wisdom for it if we just handle it well. And it seems like, Leo, that you really try to handle it well. You try to do something in a more self-loving and way that makes you rock solid and stable and still loving and warm, even in the midst of a war. Okay, so that's very advanced. It's not everyone can make this happen. Okay. So next card is King of Pentacles. So some of you might have been having an argument with an earth sign. This is usually Capricorn, might be a Taurus or a Virgo as well. Five of Swords together with King of Pentacles. It's about boundaries, because the King of Pentacles lives in a big castle. He has a lot of riches there, everything he needs for a siege. Okay, so it might be about boundaries. When a person is very good on keeping boundaries or taking care of themselves, loving themselves, they have no problem with going into a battle and show their boundaries, like showing where I end and you begin. So this is how far it will go. So it seems like there has been some kind of clash down with boundaries. We also see the little robin here. It's a bird that's connected to Jesus. It says that it got its red chest from being hurt by the thorns in Jesus's crown, and we can see that this person has kind of a crown here. So it might be that there's some kind of sacrifice or martyrdom being included in this situation. We see the fire burning here and this book. So fire and a book, I know that it's probably dead here in this card, but it's food in this card, but it's the book stands for incredible stubbornness, and with that fire, it's it might be passionate stubbornness. Okay, so you might have been dealing with a very stubborn and passionate person, but they are connected to Jesus and this martyrdom. So it might be that there's some kind of woundedness that needs to be addressed in this situation, and also how you keep your walls up. We have also the Four of Wands. It's talking about these walls and these boundaries. They are invisible, but every time someone crosses them, you tell them, like clear and like yes, sounding clear. Okay. And the next card here is the Princess of Cups. So it seems like even if there was conflict, people had kind of the best intentions. Maybe they were acting from a little bit being martyr or being like in their vulnerable child. So even if someone has kind of pissed you off, Leo, it seems like maybe both you and them had the very best intentions. Or it might be that this is Leo having the best intentions, and this person might be like ready for war. So it can be very, if you are walking into a situation like this, into a person that has put themselves in a siege and ready for war, there might be some kind of explosion, and this Princess of Cups is very vulnerable. So when we go into situations like this, and we learn that people are acting with war in their mind, we also learn to protect ourselves better next time. So even if you walk on this landmine here, you know better next time. It's not about being harsh or cold. It's about taking better care of yourself in every situation that shows up. So even if you come with the best intentions and you get like war slapped in your face, it's not really a bad thing, because it's there to be a teaching situation. Okay, so we'll see where it goes. And we have the Star card here, so it's something orchestrated by the divine to give you some knowledge and wisdom. Okay, and here we have the Now. So underneath the Five of Swords, we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is kind of the Two of Wands. It's a person having access to self-control, but also a buttload of wisdom. Okay, she has the Book of Wisdom here, kind of the Akashic Chronicles. So it seems like even if you were brought to war, you were able to keep your cool and keep yourself in tune with your own inner wisdom, and be able to see a little bit more what things are really about. And we have the crescent moon here on top, and different stars showing the connection, like she is tuning into the divine. So I'm thinking in a situation where you were in conflict, you were able to tune into the divine and hopefully take the right action in that situation. The High Priestess can be a little bit silent, a little bit secretive. So maybe you just did this for yourself, inside yourself. It can be very subtle, like how we use our wisdom. We don't have to display it for everyone in the whole world. And here we have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups here has a little bit family sense to it, like family, a celebration. We have in Sweden, we have the midsummer solstice happening here in the like in June. So this is about July, but it's still 10 days left to the midsummer solstice. Not even 10 days, it's 7 days left to the midsummer solstice, but we will celebrate, in Sweden we celebrate the 24th of June, but the midsummer solstice will be on the 21st of June. So this might be talking about some kind of like family celebration or vacation where we can have time together with the people we love. This might be a father figure and husband or an authority figure in your life. It can also show family aspects. So when family comes together, there's usually a little bit of conflict, but there's still like love and the best intentions. It's just that, people don't always understand each other in the way that they could do. And we can see that it's like this figure on the wall is looking much like this person here, if you can see it. So Nine of Cups is, as I said, a really good card. It's a wish card. It's saying that you have the relationship you're supposed to have. So even if it's a little bit rocky, it's still worth exploring, okay? And also start to have a little bit more vision and hope for what you want in the future. Like be more crystal clear about things, what you really would want, even if it makes you a little bit vulnerable here with the Princess of Cups, okay? So the next card here is Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is a card that you can't really predict, okay? It's the divine taking you on a swirl in a whirlwind, okay? So it's like you have rolled the dice and then the universe starts with its big mechanism and something will come back to you with this. And when I have dreamt about the Wheel of Fortune, sometimes it's me going into a big wheel on the top of a hill and then rolling downwards over trucks and houses and people and everything. And it's like I don't have control because there's no steering wheel inside of this big wheel, and it's the divine having control. It's like natural forces having control. So the best thing we can do in these kind of situations, even if we are taking down a road we would prefer to not have gone down, it's to put yourself in the center of this circle, because in the outside of the circle there will be the centrifugal forces that will throw you around like you were laundry. But the Wheel of Fortune is like a miracle card. It's the divine fixing something in a certain kind of way, so it will be better for you. So that's one aspect. Synchronicity, divine forces in action, you losing control. It can be revolution as well, that we do revolution against something that might have made us very vulnerable in the past. So that might be why you are changing your ways from being vulnerable to being more like the High Priestess, like having more self-control, caring more about what the divine said than what people in your surroundings says. In Tot Tarot, in the book something about the soul, which I have forgotten right now. My brain is working very strange when I'm doing tarot readings. But anyway, in this book they say if a miracle doesn't happen, something is wrong, okay? So it seems like you have rolled the dice and this will come back with certain consequences, but it might be that these consequences is just what the divine wanted, okay, for you. Even if it feels like you are rolling over trucks and buildings and houses and other people, it's still in your destiny to do so. Okay, toughen up a little bit from being this beautiful Princess of Cups here. And here we had the Four of Wands. So it's about building stability for yourself. And what I'm feeling, it's about 10. It's also connected to 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. It's the Magician. 19, the Sun. 9 plus 1 is 10, is the Magician. So I'm thinking you are seeing something more clearly, acting upon it like the Magician. And the divine is kind of helping you in this effort here. Okay. This is your future. And we have the Five of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Three of Cups. So it seems like the celebration that you might have wanted, or this connection or coming together, or maybe taking a relationship to the next level. And maybe there's a stubborn person in the way for, it might be you, Leo, in the way for taking like a relationship to the next level here, to really come together as close friends. So it might be that some person is on their watch, like they are not able to let this in, like this. It's like a gift being offered here, but they are not even looking in the right direction here. This King of Pentacles. So it might be that you want to come closer together with like the people that's in your soul group, and it seems like you will manage. I can't see exactly why, because Five of Swords, the High Priestess, is very secretive. It seems like you deal with this through your own intuition. And maybe you invited 9 people from the beginning, but 3 is what will show up, and you will have a really good time. So maybe all these people that you love so much isn't for you, okay? Maybe all these people isn't ready to open their heart towards you. But it's still 3 close friends is maybe better than to have a lot of friends that's not that close. This is a real valuable situation. And also 2, 3. So we are counting to something. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles can be Virgo. It's usually Virgo, but can be a Taurus and Capricorn as well. And we see here King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. What this says to me, it's like there is a couple that has this close relationship as it is like they were married. Okay, so these cards is coming up for marriage, like husband and wife. And the 9 of Cups in the center is saying that you are with the person you are supposed to be with. So even if they don't let you in right now, this might change during the course of July, okay? Something new will come where you will be able to be in a closer relationship with the people that you love, okay? It seems very beautiful. The Queen of Pentacles is like a person that is unconditionally loving. She's spreading out the love to all the people. It's like spreading out all the seeds in the wind, and it doesn't matter so much where they end up. If they end up on a rocky cliff where they are not being well received, there's no soil there that can make this seed grow. There can't be any friendship because maybe this person is hateful or angry or very hurt or wounded, so they can't react to love in a healthy kind of way. It doesn't matter, because the Queen of Pentacles keeps sending out seeds, and eventually it might end up in fertile soil, and you will find your tribe, or maybe even a husband, because we have both this constellation here with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles and a 4 of Wands, all talking about marrying. So it might be that you have married either your masculine or your feminine side. It seems like mostly the masculine, because you had this very masculine approach when I shuffle the cards. But when you have invited the masculine in your life, the masculine can protect you. It's like when you're able to have boundaries, you're able to be stubborn, you're able to not let things worrying you so much, but actually letting the wands down, you know, not worrying about what could have been or what will be, or so then you're protecting your queen here. And the queen is in her turn protecting the child. And so we have also the Holy Trinity here and also here. So it's talking about your 3 archetypes. The child, the mother that interprets what the child wants, and the father that protects the whole family. Being very stubborn, rigid, stoic, things like this. So it's the masculine is supposed to be used as a protection towards the family, but in many times it's like used towards the family instead. We are not ready to tell our boss or our best friend what we really mean, so we say things to our family instead, or we are irritated when we come home to them. So we need to learn to tell in the right situation that this is what I want, this is not what I want, this is what I love, this isn't what I love. And we can do it in a very diplomatic way without all the thorns out and without creating so much drama. We can just say like, oh, this makes me feel uncomfortable. I have some certain feeling right now. Maybe we can explore it together. I'm feeling like this. What can it be? Oh, maybe it's this and this. If we are in a helpful environment, like with people that love us, and if we are not, these kind of situations will show which people that love us and which don't. And we don't have to be bitter about it. Just keep on sending out the seeds, the keys to the rowdy, beautiful rowdy prisoners, as Hughes once said. And here we actually have the Lord. So we have two husbands in this reading, but I'm thinking it's talking about you finding your inner husband and being better to take care of yourself, taking authority and leadership in your tribe of people, becoming a true leader in your own life, in your own house. House, we have the 4 wands here. But it might also say that we have a person that you have had a quarrel with, but they are still yours. And they might come back as your husband when the time is ready. Just keep up kind of the good work, Leo, and this is what will happen. So it seems very prosperous for you. And the last reading I did for Leo, then it was this song, Mama, I'm Coming Home. And here we see 2 males and the mama, maybe someone is coming home, okay? Someone that you have maybe had a fallout with may come back around, and there will be a celebration after all. Okay, so I'll read the center card for you. It feels like maybe I've read it before, but sometimes there's not much variation. The same energy is holding on for months and months on end, because this is what we are working on. So it's not always like the energy is shifting very hasty. 7, 8, 9, the 9s here. Okay. Finding this card in your reading suggests you may have realized a dream or fulfilled a long-held wish. Miracles, you know, and this is the wish card. Life feels good, and it's time for enjoyment and celebration. You may be experiencing a period of great happiness and emotional satisfaction. Perhaps you have just become a grandparent or are feeling content with life in some other way. You might be hosting a social event or family gathering full of feelings of warmth and conviviality. But it is possible that in the midst of this, you have forgotten to invite someone or lay a place for them at the table. Someone may be missing from your life, or you may be feeling strangely lonely despite the situation. In general, the card suggests a full and rewarding emotional life. You could have been through difficult in the past, but now close relationship and warmth abound. Your imaginative and creative life might be flourishing with much inspiration and a strong feeling of being connected to the source of life and all of nature. Life is treating you well, and any obstacles you do encounter will be easily handled. However, although success brings contentment, there is also the danger of complacency, smugness, overindulgence, or even laziness. So make sure you appreciate the experience you are going through and the blessings you are receiving. And also something that has been, this is reversed meaning, and since it's connected with the 5 of Swords, I will read this too. See if I can make a little bit clearer picture there so you can watch the cards while I'm reading this. Something that has been hidden or suppressed might be revealed, and through this a complex and entrenched situation might be resolved. Superficial or unhelpful attachments may be released, and you may find yourself leading a simpler, freer life as a result. Plan to celebrate or hold a party could encounter difficulties, however, or you may be in danger of overindulging to the point where someone calls you to account or confronts you about your behavior. So I'm thinking with the Princess of Cups here that that there's something vulnerable that's being able to be displayed. It has been hidden before. So it might be that, like, a person that has been very cold and detached and stubborn might reveal some vulnerability. Vulnerability can sometimes be shown also as aggression, because a person is vulnerable and feels skinless, so they lashes out. So you might look again at some conflict you have been through. Maybe the person was very vulnerable at the point that you reached them. And also this with missing plates. So there might be like a returning of someone that's missing at your table currently. Okay, so I will also take a card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. A Sacred Rebel, we have the Lord here, that's the rebel. Also the Hermit is the rebel, and we have 9 of Cups in the center connected to the Hermit card. And we have Pandora's gift, so this might be connected to this what has been hidden. And I'm thinking that it's something beautiful that has been hidden, but it has been hidden because people are afraid to get hurt. They don't want to get hurt, so they are protecting themselves behind big walls and big words maybe. 45, Pandora's gift. 44, 45, there. Okay, so there is a mythic woman, much maligned throughout history, whose name means all gifted. Pandora lives within us as a curious nature, journeying to conquer chaos, evil, and darkness with the light of knowledge. She is the hopeful voice of our soul that asks the questions, and in doing so triggers the process that brings the answers, the wheel here. Even if you didn't want to trigger anything, it's triggered, and it will bring the answers. Sometimes it is through uncomfortable learning that we find our treasure. Pandora reminds us that the process of learning can take us to places that seems like the end of our world, and yet all is not lost. Even now, the light within you is stirring for new revelation, new life, and new adventure. Pandora is all gifted and all giving. Her presence invites you to forego your belief in judgment. Now is the time to surrender misplaced guilt that you may have brought upon yourself or another, some terrible happening. It is time to let go of the shame-based belief in punishment. This is a belief that you deserve to be brought to task over any perceived imperfection, or that your natural human journey somehow renders you inadequate. Okay, so I'm thinking you might stir up things during the month of July, Leo, or might have already done so. And you need to use self-acceptance. Okay, don't be guilt-stricken of you doing something and you stepping into like this minefield without really knowing it. Even if you did it by purpose, try to accept yourself more. Don't judge yourself so much, and then you will also have, like, you can judge others, and in the meaning having a good judgment about others. See them when they have a bad agenda. It doesn't mean that you will hate them or be bitter towards them. It just means that you put boundaries towards people to protect yourself. But self-acceptance seems to be very important if you are in service of the divine and you're supposed to do something that falls very natural for you because you're in tuned, and it comes back with something that you didn't expect. You need to still have self-acceptance. Don't take things personally. Yes. Pandora frees the soul from such torment of feeling that your imperfection or that your natural human journey somehow renders you inadequate. This is our gift. The human journey necessarily involves learning through experience. There is no shame in your learning process. Pandora's presence is the sign of a new time, a time to swap the notion of inherited shame for the acceptance of the inherited divinity. From this moment on, how unstoppable you shall become. Yes, sacred rebellion is happening within your soul as a powerful uprising towards liberation. You are breaking free from the weight criticism of the world, from the power games that bore you senseless, and from the boring. and from the insanity of sacrilegious priorities in this world, dare to disobey anything and everything that is not divine. Pandora is the leader of your soul revolution. She defies the vicious judgments of history and all that has been said about her. She shrugs off misery, despair, and weight of the world to recognize that she is the bearer of the true and beautiful light of peace, comfort, hope, and reassurance. Okay, so I'm thinking that you can trust yourself and accept yourself in whatever situation you are in, and try to open up a little bit more to people. It seems like this is happening like rather naturally here. But if this is you being very stoic and stubborn, you might be need of connecting with your intuition to come to this place of unconditional love and keep spreading the keys for the beautiful rowdy prisoners so you can free them one day. Because if people are acting like overreacting or being over dramatic in your life, it just shows that they are wounded. Okay, so it's not saying anything about you, and it's kind of not saying so much about them as a person either, just that they are wounded and lashing out, but don't take it personal. Okay, so I hope this will help, and for those of you that's interested in a personal reading, you can visit my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. And I welcome you back to the next reading, which I will be performing in the beginning of July. Okay, take really good care, and bye-bye.